Hello and welcome to day 4 of the qualifiers. Today I'm up against D-dagger, and D-dagger's actually been he's a newer player, but he's been making a very strong showing, and I'm interested in seeing how these games are going to go. Let's go ahead and get it started. You can see my bots are all trying to run for the middle resource, but it looks like his bots are spreading out, trying to go for closest resources to themselves. Can be advantageous, but you see my shotgun picked up the resource, and immediately his shotgun and assault turned to attack my shotgun. He's got them, it appears to be prioritizing hunter behavior, trying to stop the enemy from capturing. And I'm afraid that my willingness to drop the resource and fight might actually bite me in the ass in this if he's going to put a lot of pressure on my resource carriers. But so far so good. I did kill his shotgun and opened up the bottom a little bit. And you can see his machine gun having a very hard time dealing with the pressure I'm exerting, but he is up 2-1. I've got this resource very close to his base, which is good for me, but my bot is having a hard time covering any ground, and he's getting no assistance from the rest of my team. Might have to make some more adjustments to the AI here, but I am still trying to control the top, but he is up 3-1 so far, and that is very much less than ideal. But you can see ProblemBot is migrating south to interdict his shotgun, which I'm okay with, and I've got both of these resources being grabbed. However, the assault did turn around to fight. I think the assault with the shotgun support can probably hold out pretty well. And his assault here, you can see trying to do the hunter behavior, kind of didn't do itself a whole lot of favors. But my machine gun did interdict the shotgun, managed to get it to drop that resource. That's ideal. And this is a good spot for ProblemBot to be, because ProblemBot wants to be in the middle of everything that the enemy is trying to do. But I don't think he's going to last too long if he starts getting ganged up on by, he's got the assault bot here, another assault bot about to spawn, and his machine gun here. If my machine gun ends up getting shot by the entire lot of them, that's going to be very problematic. You can see his machine gun firing on my machine gun while my machine gun is too busy trying to shoot this assault that's over on the wall. And so that's going to get my machine gun killed, and that's going to make it very difficult for me to advance here. I just need my bots to hold out for a little longer. My shotgun did manage to grab the resource, and we've already seen his bots get a little bloodthirsty when they're chasing the resource carrier. Unfortunately, I had some bots in the way, but you can see the machine gun just running right next to an assault, but taking significant damage for it. I don't think this machine gun's getting out of this fight. But he's still trying. He's getting very close. He's exerting a lot of pressure on my resource carriers, but I think my shotgun's got it at this point. Which, that is a very close game. That could have gone either way very quickly. But nonetheless, good show, Dagger, and I will see you in the next one. Next up, we have the domination match, and here you can see this is going to be just a giant mess. All of the bases are clustered at the top. They're close to spawn points. There is no way this is going to be a clean match one way or the other. But I'm hoping it pans out. He is using assaults instead of having the 2 shotgun, 2 sniper, which will give him more mobility in general. I guess, well, the shotguns balance it out, but the assaults are much more versatile than shotguns, so he's kind of going for a bit of a more mobile, more versatile approach, whereas I'm very much committing to a singular strategy. And early point lead is going to me. You can see his sniper did just move onto the point, but until then he wasn't actually standing on the point, which was letting me score more because I had both snipers and both machine guns on points. But he is taking this bottom base from me, and that is not ideal. But you can see he only has 1 bot actually on a base right now, which is helping me out quite a bit. He's scoring faster than I am right now, but that won't last, at least not unless something changes. And now my machine guns are moving to this bottom base. That's good. With my machine guns in the bottom base, they're better poised to prevent disruption and captures on my bases, because the shotgun has to run past my machine guns to get anywhere, and running past a machine gun is ill-advised. And also both snipers. Between the 2 machine guns and the snipers, running past this bottom right base just isn't happening, but it's really hard to do pathfinding related tricks with the game. Yeah, see, now they've all acquired that shotgun and just watch it melt. And I still only have a narrow lead though. As I've said before, a single digit lead, in this case 6 points, is not insurmountable, but I did manage to neutralize this top base for just a second, which for starters interrupts the scoring process completely and resets the 10-second timer on the scoring. But I was on the base for 3 seconds, so it also took 3 seconds to restore it. So basically my shotgun cost him 13 seconds of scoring time plus whatever percentage it was at when he got there. So very, very good use of the shotgun there, I think. And that looks like I might interrupt another one of his points. My shotguns are not in a good spot though. Being close to the machine guns isn't ideal, but I am getting covering fire from my bottom right base. And just what covering fire indeed too, look at that. Even his machine guns are having a hard time making any progress. Watch this, this assault's just gonna evaporate. This is not a good environment for his bots to have to pass through. And it looks like he's trying really hard to get to this vacant base, which would otherwise be a good strategy, but because of the position of my bots, I think I've got too much of an advantage in this situation. But he is trying his best, and it is... I think I really got lucky that my machine guns migrated south. You see, now my bots are kind of migrating to the northern base because there was no combat happening by the southern one. Fortunately, the machine guns went back south. That's kind of preferred. The snipers are up north where they're a bit safer and further away from the enemy, and they're not really penalized for being up there since they're equally effective at all ranges. And that just lets them be a little more protected while the enemy has to deal with the machine guns that are on that bottom right base. But the lead has grown significantly though. His bots are prioritizing shooting and moving toward my bases, whereas my bots are prioritizing standing on my bases and shooting anything that just happens to get close enough. And I think that's working out very well for my bots. Yeah, you can see the sniper go from full to dead almost instantly. Dual snipers, if you can synchronize their shots, are also really nasty because they can... very few bots in the game are really prepared for a 4,000 damage burst, least of which being snipers. But with 20 seconds on the clock, I think it looks like domination is going in my favor. Still a good show though. He was doing all the right things. I think his only real problem was his spawn order. If his shotguns were up top, I think he would have been able to take that top, or if his shotgun was up top, I think he might have been able to take that top base. But I did manage to secure domination. That's going to give me the series, but we still get to watch the elimination match coming up in just a second. So here we are in the elimination match. You can see, what did he opt for? 2 shotguns, 2 assaults, 2 snipers, 2 machine guns. That's a pretty common arrangement, so I'm not really too surprised to see it. As I've said before, the big gamble here is I need to not get fooled by his shotguns. If his shotguns keep this bottom cluster, you see him running toward the bottom cluster, if his shotguns keep the bottom cluster too busy for too long, like, yeah, you see his assaults are moving up top to create a 6v4 situation against my assaults, which is my weaker side. That could be a problem if I get too distracted by these shotguns. My stronger side, you see, they are falling for it pretty hard. That is not ideal. My assaults should slowly give ground, though. I just need this bottom side to actually move. Ooh, that was a lot of armor damage on that shotgun. That moves the one shotgun back, and I think that's going to give me enough breathing room to possibly move upward a bit. This is uncomfortable, but my assaults are actually holding a lot better than I expected them to. You can see I I did take a little bit of chip damage there, but for the most part, my assaults are very, very slowly backing up, which is working out really well. And for a 6v4 situation, I'm really proud of this behavior. By all rights, my assaults are at a tremendous disadvantage, but now my heavy squad is slowly arriving. And I think this might create a problem because his entire team, like his cluster of 6, is all relatively close to the wall. So if I can force them to retreat, they won't have very far to go. And as I've said before, position on the map is very important in elimination because if you want to survive, you have to retreat. And if you retreat too far, you run out of space. And right here, he has almost no space, while I have pretty much the entire map at my discretion. But let's see how it goes. You can see my bot's trying to line up and find shots, but having a hard time of it. Oh, I did get some big hits on some shield there. With the cluster like this, it's really hard to tell exactly what's going on. A little bit more chip damage taken by me there. But I think it'll be alright. My bot's still in pretty good condition, and now that my real heavy hitters have arrived, you can see I've pushed his bots back up against the wall just a little bit more, and I should start being able to do some significant armor damage. But at the same time, he's trying to push back out, which is really what he needs to do. He needs to open up some space. And his team so far has been holding up pretty well in the 8v8. But like I said before, when it's just long-range fights, the shotguns can't really do any damage. They can serve as a diversion, which they've been doing a very good job of. But they can't actually inflict any harm on enemy bots at long range. At medium range, you can see they do a pretty solid job. They don't do as much medium range damage as assaults do, but they are very quick and versatile, and medium range is the safe range for a shotgun to operate. Because generally speaking, with a shotgun, if you have your bot react correctly, as you can see here, it's very difficult to get through their shields before they retreat to safety. But now, I've got his bots almost in the corner. And I think if they get stuck in the corner, it could be a problem, but all of his bots are rather healthy, as are most of mine, except for a couple of my assaults are a little lower than I'd like, but considering they were in a 4v6 and they're all still on the field, I'm pretty satisfied with their performance so far. There's only a minute on the clock though. If this draws, it'll give us another map, which I think might be favorable for me. My bottom squad getting stuck attacking their shotguns definitely didn't do me any favors. Now here you can see his sniper is wiggling back and forth at half armor, and it's dead. Wiggling back and forth, basically what it's doing is it's fighting on the edge of long range, and it retreats out of range of things trying to attack it. And then it steps back in because it no longer finds anything in range attacking it. It's kind of an irritating problem to fix, but there's a lot of solutions to that. But it does look like that might be the only kill so far. His machine guns are taking some pressure. I've got more damage on the field at this point, and I don't think he's going to be able to push me out or secure any kills against what I have left. So, good games, Dagger. And an excellent showing. And like I said, he's only been around for a week or so, and he's doing a great job so far. Keep it up.